Another season of St. Cloud State men's hockey means another season of Rinkside with McHatton. I'm Anna Baining, and we're going to be previewing every men's home hockey series here at the Brooks Center, and we're going to let you in on everything you need to know. So Mick, the Huskies, they're facing their in-state foe, University of St. Thomas, this weekend. And I'm curious, what are your initial thoughts on this matchup?
It's actually a little bit tougher matchup than I think a lot of people are thinking, because a lot of people kind of, I think, maybe think back to a couple of seasons ago and the first game that they played against them, and they blew them off the ice in that first game. But the games last season were a lot tighter. I think St. Thomas is a team that they made big strides last season. They won 8 more games than they did the year before. They've got a lot of guys back, and they've only got one freshman on their roster. So I mean, they're a team that they have the potential, to cause some problems for St. Cloud State.
And the Huskies, they have 10 newcomers on the team this year, 8 of those being new guys, freshman players. How do you think the Huskies are going to fare with a good share of youth on their team?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the big question mark, particularly down the middle. Really the one center that they've got coming back is Mason Sahlquist. He's probably going to see time on one of the top 2 lines to start off the season at least, and he's a very solid center. But the other 3 guys have not played a lot. Adam Ingram played a little bit of center last season for St. Cloud State, but whoever the other 2 guys are that are going to be playing center to start the season are guys that have not played at the college level. So there's going to be a learning curve there, and that's where St. Cloud State was really strong last season.
But something that's not a question mark is the fiery returners for the Huskies. Tyler Kupka, Dylan Anhorn, Viti Miettinen, Zach Okabe. What do you expect to see out of them this weekend?
In the case of Okabe, I mean, he's a guy that's a free agent, so he wants to improve his stock a little bit this season. Same with Tyler Kupka. They're both undrafted guys, so I think that's kind of the big thing with them. As you're looking ahead, I mean, Anhorn could have signed and be playing pro hockey, but I think again he was probably going to end up with a minor league deal versus the NHL. I think he's trying for the big ring, and he loved it here last season.
And goalie matchup, the Tommies are bringing back sophomore netminder Aaron Trotter. He saw all but 2 games for the Tommies last season. And on the Huskies side, Dominic Bassi, senior goalie. What do you expect out of those 2, and how will they match up?
Yeah, this is a big test for Dominic. I think still. I mean, he split time last season. If you looked at them in the playoffs, it ended up being that Jackson Castor got really hot and kind of carried them at the end of last season. That doesn't say that Dominic was playing poorly, at the end of last season, but that was just the way things worked out. They want him to, kind of get going early on, and they'd love to see him kind of take over that number 1 spot and just kind of run with it. In Trotter's case, like you mentioned, I mean, he played a ton last season, and they clearly depended on him an awful lot. And anytime that you win more games than you did the season before, the goaltender obviously has got a big hand in that. I think it's going to be good goaltending on both sides, and we'll see how this goes and see if it's a real chess match here in the early part of the season, because both teams kind of finding themselves a little bit, or I don't know, maybe they'll surprise us. I don't see it being a real high-scoring weekend, though.
Okay. So one last thing, for Husky and Tommy fans, what's one thing that they have to be on the lookout for in these games?
For St. Cloud State, I mean, I think it's that play down the middle that I was talking about. I mean, and how much production they get out of maybe those bottom 2 lines. I think, they're more established guys, and guys that have better pedigree in terms of goal scoring are on their top 2 lines. One of the keys last season, I thought, for St. Cloud State was they had pretty good balance on their 4 lines. Can they get a little bit more balance here out of this first weekend? For St. Thomas, I still think it's can can they put the puck in the net a little bit more, and maybe can they get and play with the lead. That's when they've played St. Cloud State. They haven't played with a lead very. I don't know if they've played a lead at all. I'd have to go back and look, but I mean, you want to get ahead and see what that's like to play with the lead. So it'll be interesting to see from that standpoint.
Well, thanks, Mick. It was so much fun chatting with you. I could chat with you all day, but we can't. But make sure that you tune in to the Huskies and the Tommies this weekend for their first series.